If you want to know the story of a genius woman, her life is more exciting than any soap opera, so come along. My art and my animals, I need love more than this. Who would have thought this stubborn declaration would become the lead role in her life? In 1866, Miss Potter was born in London. Her grandfather ran the largest cherry factory in England. Potter had a routine of breakfast, afternoon tea, and good night. At home, she had a tiny kingdom of animals. Birds, snails, and two bunnies, Pit and Benjamin. She loved to paint, and the shiny brushes were like her magic wand. She sketched a colourful world on paper. At 20, she vowed never to marry, and by 30, she had an unrealistic idea of publishing her own book. Back then, it wasn't just any little lady who could publish. As years slipped by, everyone followed set paths, especially when unmarried women over 20 faced doom. What's worse is Potter at 36, and her mum lined up a series of blind dates, almost like a dating reality show just for her. From soldiers to nobles, her mother explored various suitors, but none could shake Potter's artistic resolve, creating wonderful animal stories where every word was her heart. In an age of popular novels, she clung to her fairy tale dreams. Unfortunately, Miss Potter's work faced setback after setback in reality. Luckily, when fate closed the door, it quietly opened a window. One day, Wayne Publishers extended an olive branch, willing to publish her beloved Peter Rabbit. Potter was overjoyed, thinking her passion project was finally recognized, not knowing that behind the beauty lurked a conspiracy. Wayne Publishers was a family business, and the brothers had their own agendas. They handed this seemingly hopeless project to freshly entered Norman, severely underestimating Potter's strength. However, they never guessed that this move would directly change the history of children's literature in England. Norman was very different from his brothers, with unique insight. How could Potter be considered an oddity in her eyes? She thought those vibrant paintings had magical powers, poised to shine brightly on the bookshelf. The two hit it off, sparks of inspiration flying, and soon reached a collaboration intent, addressing Potter's concerns about costs. Norman quickly proposed a clever plan, cutting down a third of the illustrations while keeping the charm of colors. What a smart move! Such professionalism and dedication made Potter, who also craved to showcase herself, gladly accept. Norman invited Potter to the printing house to supervise the color mixing. Every picture aimed for perfection. The first time she saw the sample, she knew the tone was too dark. Oh my! The adjusted second version still had color discrepancies. It reached the standards only in the third round. Norman's patience and responsibility made Potter very happy. Yes, she finally found someone who understood her. On the day Peter Rabbit was published, Norman excitedly took Potter to the bookstore, where that little illustrated book hung proudly in the center. This number not only signified the success of their collaboration, but also proved Potter's worth. Women over 30 who are married aren't just about sipping tea and chatting. They can also have incredible careers. Subtitles, yet there was always a hint of bitterness mixed in her joy. The fact that her collaboration with Norman was drawing to a close filled her with deep regret. In fact, Potter's family went to the Lake District every summer for vacation, where a gardener's son adored her tales. This blossoming affection grew quietly during their interaction, and Norman inviting Potter home made him quite the romantic. Norman's sister, Millie, was enthusiastic and similarly a non-marriage advocate. She had heard of Potter long ago. In this circle, unmarried girls spent their days gossiping, but Potter was a different breed. Not only did she not give up on her career, but she also created amazing works with her talent. The two exchanged smiles, filled with mutual admiration, and Norman's mother and Acre offered Potter unprecedented respect and warmth. Yet her mother could never understand her daughter's choices. She was blind to her daughter's success, even arranging ridiculous blind dates. From the poorly mannered officers to the overly flamboyant gentlemen, her mother's taste was always bizarre. This sparked tension between mother and daughter, as Potter just wanted to be a free-spirited bird. Her mother's words fell on deaf ears, but Potter grew even closer to Norman, crossing into romance. Together they released several works, while Millie and Potter bonded, as if connected at the soul. Their values aligned perfectly, often discussing women's freedom and ideals, as if opening the gates to a new world. In Millie's view, a man's role was merely to provide financial support and perpetuate life. Women's lives required more freedom, and obtaining that freedom exacted a heavy toll. The fear of such sacrifices was daunting, while a married woman enjoyed a more free and relaxed life. Thankfully, she and Potter shared such a privilege, becoming perfect confidantes. As their collaboration deepened, feelings between Potter and Norman intensified, tantalizingly vague. She invited Millie and her brothers to the Christmas party, planning to reveal her feelings publicly at the event. Don't forget to subscribe.